going again. We had a period of 9 months, I believe, where we didn't offer any courses. I teach Facebook, like direct sale, LinkedIn, photography, Pinterest is next week. So a lot of the website design, so a lot of the social media courses for AdCap, but she also has some other ones like business plan writing, accounting, QuickBooks, things like that. So definitely talk to Lisa about some other courses that may be of interest to you. So sounds like with LinkedIn today, the direction we need to go is more of how to make your LinkedIn impactful, and also how to find people on there and the right people. So there are many people. My husband, he is the director of U.S. operations for a software company. He uses LinkedIn to hire all of his people. So I've used it in the past with my role. I've done recruiting and things like that. So LinkedIn is a great resource to find people. So we'll kind of talk through that today. I do have my LinkedIn pulled up. I hope you have yours pulled up. Is everyone able to get into their LinkedIn right now? You may need to reset your password if it's been a while. And you can actually, there's an app for your phone. So if you want to, sometimes I think things like this are easier to do on my phone. You may be the opposite. You would rather have it big screen, be able to see it. So whatever is the most convenient for you. All the things today you should be able to do on your computer and also on your phone. So I have it pulled up on both for this course, so I should be able to help you no matter how you're looking at it. So I guess we'll just kind of start. The first thing that you notice is the picture. So LinkedIn, very similar to Facebook in some ways, but very different in other ways. You do want to make sure that it is a headshot, an actual headshot for LinkedIn, and it needs to be a picture where you're looking straight at the camera. It cannot be, actually, I don't even think LinkedIn will let you put it on there if it's not a direct shot. So they do have some rules with that. So make sure that you find something that people can recognize you, that looks professional. It does matter what you're wearing. It does matter kind of what the backdrop is. So it can't be a bar scene or where you've cropped yourself out because you're in a picture with someone else kind of thing. It needs to be a nice professional picture. If you do not have a good headshot, now's the time to get one for your LinkedIn profile. I think it's like 21% is what I read of people. You get noticed more on LinkedIn 21% of the time more than others without good profile pictures. Or there's some people who don't have a profile picture at all and they don't get seen on Facebook or on LinkedIn. So definitely take the time to put a good picture on there. There is also on Facebook they call it a cover photo, but you can go in here and edit your background photo also. I have chose to use a camera as a photographer. It's a picture of my camera, it's appropriate, but it needs to be something simple that kind of defines your personality. It can be your logo for your business. You could easily put that on there. They are kind of a different shape, so sometimes it's like frustrating to find that right image that'll fit in that awkward space. So if you go to like PicMonkey or Canva.com, There's several different sites that you can go to create a LinkedIn cover photo. So it'll give you the right dimensions and things like that. So take advantage of some of those free websites that provide the template and go in and create something if you don't already have something to use. Is everyone kind of familiar with, Canva.com or PicMonkey, or there could be some others that are on your phone?
Yeah, I'm not very proficient at them, but I've seen them and used them very limitedly.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else need more information about that, or do you feel comfortable with that information?
Just name those again. I've never heard of either of them.
Okay, Canva, Canva.com. Tim, that would be a great one for you to use as you're creating that side business of yours. Canva.com. There's some things that you do that they may charge you like $1 or $2, but it's nothing horrible. But you can create business cards using that. You can create some cute graphics that you can post on your Facebook marketplace, business page, website, all those things. So Canva.com would probably be a good tool for you to add to your tool belt. I'm just going to keep moving because we only have an hour, but if anytime you have a question or need me to elaborate, please stop us and ask your question, because the way I teach a class is we just go with it. We just whatever direction we go in is what we do. I don't have an agenda this morning. It's hard to create an agenda sometimes for these courses because I don't know, are we starting from scratch, creating a LinkedIn profile, or are we able to jump in? What are we using it for? Those kind of things. So, so this is more of a just ask questions as we go, and email me later if there's a topic we didn't hit that you think of later as you're setting this up for yourself. So make sure you put your actual name. This can't be like a MySpace account where you got some nickname on there. Use your official name. And then the next section, the section right here, is called the header section, headline section, sorry. What I did right here is clicked on the little pencil. So all these little pencils you're able to edit. So this headline is, after they see your profile picture, the next thing they're going to see is the headline. So the headline, you only get so many characters, so mine are maxed out. So you don't want to put a sentence there. You want to put all the things that describe you. You can put the name of your business on there, job title on there. I think when you set up your LinkedIn account, it automatically just puts your job title on there. But the more things you put on there, when people are searching, it connects you to those people more. So I personally have R. Varney Marketing and Photography, name of my business owner, because I want to connect with other business owners. I am a full-time real estate photographer. I want realtors on here and other people in the real estate market world industry to find me. Workshop instructor, and I have marketing on there because we do marketing for small businesses. So that pretty much sums up my whole business that I do. Now, I could have just put R. Varney Marketing and Photography, but those keywords there, business owner, real estate photographer, workshop instructor, marketing, is going to get me a lot farther. It's gonna open my LinkedIn community bigger by adding the rest of those. So definitely put some time and effort into coming up with a really good headline for you. Any questions on headlines? All right. You're able to basically build your resume on LinkedIn. So if you are looking for a position, or maybe you're not actively looking, if a great opportunity comes along, you would listen to that opportunity, then you want to make sure that you have, you know, a resume on LinkedIn. Don't just put your resume on there, you got to build it. But you just start here, and the way it's set up, it just walks you right through these things. But you know, you just add a new position and just kind of walk through it, and it will create it for you. I'm trying to think of what else. You can put your present date, you can put end dates. If you write down here, share with network. If enabled, your network may be informed of job changes, education changes, and work anniversaries. You can turn that on, and it will notify people if you've changed jobs. Mine's off just in case we do something today while we're playing around, and you know, we change my job position or something. I don't want it to tell my whole LinkedIn community that I changed jobs or anything crazy. So mine's turned off just in case we do something today while we're playing around. But I would definitely turn that on so that people are notified of what you've got going on your professional, on the professional side. So what's great about LinkedIn too is if you don't have a ton of work experience, and I feel like our group here have been working for many years, but if I was a 18-year-old, I'm a senior in high school, I was given this task. I know for a fact that Western Brown marketing students in Mike Goines' class, they have to set up a LinkedIn account at the end of the school year every year, because I start getting connection requests from seniors from Western Brown about that time. You know, it's great to get these seniors on here, and they don't have a ton of work experience. So there's a volunteer section where they can fill that in, and we'll come across that a little bit later. But you know, it is basically an online resume for you, and it helps you connect with other professionals in your environment. It also, if you go on here and add your education, it'll start linking you with other people that you went to school with, things like that. So definitely fill in as much as possible as you're going through here. So let's go ahead. Let's dive in here a little bit. All right. I just refreshed mine that way, just in case I clicked on something. All right. So the about section, so we just talked about this section right here. I want to jump right here to the about section. It's right underneath. Let me make sure on the phone that it's similar area. Is anyone using their phone? Or does everyone have it pulled up on their desktop?
I'm on my desktop.
Okay. If you are using your phone, the about section looks just like it does on our screen. So it's right below that. So right here, I believe you get like 2,000 characters in this section, I believe. Like this, you can add a lot of paragraphs. So if I was job hunting, I would treat this kind of like a cover letter. I would put a lot of information in here about my accomplishments, career goals, where I've worked, what I've done, that kind of thing. When you're using LinkedIn to find people, to hire candidates, you would be reading this section, the summary. So with being able to put 2,000 characters on there, you would fill that section. So I'm not looking for a job. Mine's short and sweet. Mine is written mainly for the real estate, highlighting that real estate photography. So I use LinkedIn the most for that, to connect. At this point, right now, I'm using it mainly to connect with other real estate realtors. That if I was working as a recruiter for a company, I would change my summary. I would adapt it to be more of a recruiter, if that makes sense. So you can change that based on what you're doing. So like, Heather said, I want to use LinkedIn to find candidates. So if I was Heather, in this section in the summary, I would put, I work for, blah, 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 and you write it in first person. I work for so-and-so. We are looking to hire business professionals with blah, blah, blah experience. And just, basically say, this is why I'm using LinkedIn right now. I'm looking to recruit, hire, blah, blah, blah. And in here, if I was Heather, I'd put my phone number and I'd put my email in there, and that way they have ways to connect with you. So your summary may be changed often if you're using it for, different capacities. Tim right now is using it just to connect with past students and things. So, his summary could be, hey, I have been an instructor with Cincinnati State for blah, blah, blah years. I know I have several students out there. I would love to connect with you and find out how you're doing right now. Blah, blah, blah. I do have a side business, da, 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 da. I would just kind of use that summary area to say, hey, I am, looking to connect with past students. Connect with me. And that way they know exactly what you're looking for with that. Do not just copy and paste your resume into this section, though, if you are hiring, because they can see your resume. You want to, and don't just copy and paste your cover letter onto there either. Make sure there's several paragraphs on your cover letter that would work for the summary section, but make sure you're not just copying and pasting into this section right here. All right. So we'll jump down here. We started to get into it up here under this pencil. It started asking us about work experience and things like that. You can also do that right here, so we can add jobs. I have all of the positions that I've had on here. So mine goes back to August 2004. So if you think about, this is your resume. So that's why I said don't put that in your summary. They can see that right here. So occasionally, make sure you're checking over that. If you have not looked at this in the last 6 months or so, definitely take the time during this course today to update that. Because there's times I find stuff, I'm like, oh, I should change that. Oh, that's old. and just kind of go right through. This is that education section that I was talking about before. Definitely put, you know what? I just realized I don't have my high school on there. If I put my high school in there, I will see more connections with my high school alumni. I'm gonna go ahead, let's do that. We're gonna add it in there just so you can see how to add something. So I went to Georgetown junior, senior high school. A lot of them will pop up. So Georgetown Junior High School is in here. So I clicked on that one. For high school, you know, general studies. Now I gotta think. Where am I? Put in your years. All right, I'm not gonna take the time to do it right now, but I could put a description of the activity. So, you know, if I was trying, if, you know, someone was looking on here and they're like, I think I remember her, but I don't. If you listed like your activities and maybe put a description, they might remember you on here. All right, I'm just gonna hit save. I'm not gonna take the time to put more information on there. All right, so now I have my associate's degree, my high school, my bachelor's, and my master's on there now. Any questions over the work experience or the education section? It's pretty straightforward when you get in there if you have not worked on that section. Licensures and certifications is next. You can go in there. It's easy to add licensures. And then here's that volunteer experience section that I was talking about. So if you want to connect with like-minded people, throw in your volunteer experience. If you are looking for a job, definitely fill in this volunteer experience. That's a big one that employers will look at. It tells a lot about your personality, your work ethic, your interests, you know, all those things. So definitely fill that in so that they can see a little bit more about you besides what you do 8 to 5 every day. All right, and then skills and endorsements. So this is something else you need to go in and check. If you haven't been on here lately, go in and check to see. You can have 50 skills marked. So this is, I'm going to click on here. All right, so this says what your industry experience is. This will also connect you to people. I purposely have some things on here that I want to remove today with you. I left them on here just so I would have something to change so that we can do it together. If you are recruiting people, the skills that you put in here will help you connect with those types of people. So Heather, as you're looking for people, make sure that all of your things on here, your skills, don't just say, okay, daycare experience. Okay, I marked it, leave it at that. You want to find 50 that are related to that if you can. All right, don't just, I got it on there, I'm good. You want to like break it down because the more, use the 50, don't skimp, use all of them. And you know, the more things you have in common with the people who they're recommending to you, you know, the better. So definitely fill that out so that you'll connect with more people. You know, Jason and Stephanie, you know, you guys are all in that same boat. I would make sure you go through these and check these. So I was recruiting for a logistics company. I'm no longer doing that. My thing always has recommendations of people in the logistics industry. I no longer am recruiting for them. I don't need those. So I'm going in today to take some of those out, and I will see less people from that industry in my thing. So logistics is coming off. Logistics management, I'm going to take that off. There's a few that, okay, supply chain management, third-party logistics. All right, perfect. Okay, so now that I remove some, I can go on and add some. All right, so I want to, so I was editing with my pencil. Now I'm going to add a new skill. While I'm thinking of some for myself, throw out some that you could use. Let's just brainstorm together. What are some skills that you could throw on here?
Management.
Management. That's a great one. We've got several managers on here. That's perfect. Anyone else want to chime in?
Project management.
Project management's a big one. All right, so I'm going to just start to type something and it will pull up. So I just typed photography and look at all those different ones. So that's what I was saying before, like don't just be very vague, because you can put all kinds on there. So like daycare's on there, project management is on there, project planning, Microsoft project, project engineering. Like there are so many options here. Good. Watch management. Look at all these management ones. So don't just put management. Get in there and perfect. Any others? No? Okay. We got a quiet group today. All right. Okay. There's a thing called recommendations and endorsements. You can actually go on here and do recommendations for people. So if you have a coworker who's came to you and said, hey, I'm moving to Idaho and I'm putting you down on my resume as a reference. I'm sure you would say, yes, that's great, that's fine. You could do one better for them. Go on here on LinkedIn and write them a recommendation. Go on here and endorse their skills. So under strategic planning, it looks like I have 5 people who have endorsed that skill for me. So you can, marketing, looks like I have 3 people, entrepreneurship, you know, so leadership, if you keep going down through here, they're listed, there's a number by them and people can endorse. Training, I've got 9. So go on there, do them a favor, and endorse their skills, and it just helps when they're doing their job search. So definitely, you can ask someone for a recommendation. You can put that on here. I gave someone one right here, so that's the one. Looks like I wrote one. I've only wrote one for someone. So definitely look at that and, you know, help people out in those areas. All right, I'm pulling Lisa's up. Okay, so here's Lisa's. She's got, again, her background photo, very simple, clean lines, looks good. She has her job title, where she works on there. It tells me that she went to Shawnee State. On here, what is Lisa's top skills? Public speaking, teaching, customer service, leadership. All right. When I work with Lisa, it's in a leadership role. So I click on here and I just endorsed her leadership skills on there. So it's real easy to do for people. She's got her about section in here. And by scrolling down, I can see her experience. She's got her current job on there. She's been with ABCAP for 17 years. I didn't realize you're going on 18 years. Wow. Didn't realize that. Education, her licensures are on here. Here's some skills and endorsements. So I can go in and I can give reviews. Okay, how good, highly skilled. Okay, I work with her on the same team. Okay, so I mark that. I submit it. So I am now listed under here. Lisa should be getting a message right now that says that I just endorsed. So she's notified that I did that. And you can do as many as you want. So you can, I could go here today and go through all 50 of hers if I wanted to. We're not going to do that. But that's how you do that.
Yeah, and the notification just showed up that you endorsed that.
Perfect. All right, so that's the basics. Now I want to get a little bit more into like how to connect with people and things like that. So Lisa has 128 connections. I can see who she's connected with. So I could go in and connect with those people. So, all right, so let me, I can't think of, I'm going to use myself again. It's a little hard when I don't know everyone on here. So if I wanted, I do real estate photography. So I work with 48 realtors. Let's say I want to work with more realtors. I could pull up one of my realtors on here who's probably connected to other realtors, and I could go through here and connect. You see what I mean? I could send out requests to connect with her, 125 realtors, and now if they accept my connection, I just connected with more realtors. I have more realtors in my LinkedIn community. All right, if Lisa wanted to connect with more people that's in the greater Cincinnati what's their app called?
Say community action agencies.
There we go. Community Action Agency. She could pull up someone that she knows that's in the greater Cincinnati Community Action Partnership thing and go through and connect with people, and then it would make her connection bigger. All right, so that's one way you can build your connections. All right. Another way, I'm gonna try something here. All right, so Tim wants to connect with other Cincinnati state people. Up here in the search bar, if I type Cincinnati State, all of these people somehow are tied to Cincinnati State. So he could go through here and be like, oh, I remember them. I had them in class 3 years ago. Connect. Oh, yes, connect. And go through. So that's how you build your network. Now, LinkedIn will tell you, hey, you should connect with so-and-so. And they're just doing that based on your similarities. But if you want to, we call that organic growth. But if you want to go in there and intentionally grow your network, these are the ways that you would do that. You would put in keywords up here, go to specifically. So if I was recruiting for a certain industry and the person I'm recruiting for said, I would really like to hire people from blah, blah, blah company because they do something similar to us. If I type that similar company in there, I could sit there and connect as a recruiter to all of those people. And then you're able to message them and say, hey, have you thought about a career change? Hey, have you thought about switching to such and such company? Hey, I see that you work for, would you consider having coffee and discussing this company kind of thing? So there are limits to how many times you can message people, unless you pay, of course, LinkedIn to make that, to have more options. So like I mentioned at the very beginning, my husband uses this to hire new employees. He pays for a package. I think the one he pays like $65 a month. You can turn it on and off. So he only turns it on when he's actively recruiting, actively hiring. And I'm not sure what all he gets for that $65. I just see the bill come through. But if you are wanting, Heather, I don't know, Stephanie, Jason, if you guys are looking to hire people and want to be able to message them, you may have to pay for that service, and just turn it on temporarily. And I'm not sure of the cost at this point, but you only get so many. You can only message people who are not your connection so many times before it tells you can't do it anymore. So has anyone had any luck hiring people through LinkedIn? Has anyone tried it before? Heather, does this sound like a good way for you?
I think it might be. I'm definitely going to try it and, put it out there and see what we get for sure.
Definitely. Stephanie, what about you?
Trying to connect is also good.
Okay, great. Jason, did you see anything that could be helpful?
Yeah, I really find the information about the employment and how to find employees and the connections very helpful.
Good. Have you used that yet?
So we do not have access to our ACRMC LinkedIn page. So
Okay.
I am trying to request access through LinkedIn. Hopefully it's sooner than later. It's been a month so far, no luck.
Okay.
Rebecca,
Yes.
hey, it's Stephanie. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So I know on the Connect, you can just connect, but I've also found, and I'm sure you know this too, if you put a note to how you connect, how you know people, like, hey, we met at blah, blah,
Yes.
much more helpful than just that cold, hey, let's connect. Cause I'm like, I usually have to write back, like, remind me how I know you, cause I'm getting old and I don't, I don't remember it all the time. So it's helpful, a little prompt.
Thank you. Yes, it does ask you how you know them to connect. And there's like different things. Yes, thank you. Yes. Sometimes, especially like in Tim's situation, if he's reaching back, I don't know how long you've taught at Cincinnati State, but if you're, going back 10, 12 years to connect with a student, you may need to remind them that you was one of their instructors or something. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it was 18 years.
Okay, so yeah. Let's go ahead. I want to come over here. Okay, what I did was hit that LinkedIn thing. It brought me back over here because we actually haven't talked about like posting on here. So you can post information, pictures, it automatically connects over here. It's just like Facebook. I don't really have anything I need to post at this moment. But again, you can do it using your phone if you find it easier there. You can post videos, photos, an event. If you have written an article, you can post it on there. I have several. I used to be a high school teacher, so I have several colleagues. They'll write, papers for their master's degree or whatever, and they go ahead and post them on LinkedIn. And then they like to see how often it can get shared, kind of thing. It's fun. You feel like a published journalist or something if you can get people to share it. But if you've written something that's industry related, post it on there and get credit for it. Share that information. If you're going to take the time to research and write an article, definitely post it on here. So it is a great way to find information for your industry. So I think it was Stephanie, you said that you would like to find industry related information. This is a great way. If you've got the right connections and you're seeing the right information, you should be able to share some resources with some people, steal some ideas, all those kind of things related to the architecture world. So definitely get on there and see what you can find and share things. I'm trying to think of what else. How many of you use hashtags? Do we have any Twitter people, Instagram?
I occasionally do on Facebook where
Okay.
I post.
So you can hashtag in LinkedIn too. So I'm gonna just click on this one just because it's the first one listed. Consultants, hashtag consultants. If I click on that, then it shows me all the ones that are related to consultants. So I can also follow it. So Stephanie, if I was you, I would check out like hashtag architecture or whatever it is and follow. and you'll be able to get some information that way. If, again, from a recruiting standpoint, if there was a hashtag that you know one of your competitors uses, you could look up those hashtags and it would connect you, again, show you some people who have used that hashtag, and you can recruit that way too. So there's ways, if you have, in some of the other classes I've talked about it when we've had more time and things, like you've got to research your competitors. If you know what your competitors are doing, you can use that to your advantage. So if I was recruiting for an architecture company, I would want to know who the competitors are around here, how they market, how they brand. And a part of branding and marketing is hashtags. I could easily look up their hashtags. I could search their hashtags, and then that, again, that would connect me with some of their current employees and some of their past employees. So, you know, most people stay in similar industries, so maybe they're not necessarily with your main competitor now. Maybe they left there, and you could connect with them and bring them over. I know there's a lot of non-competes out there in some industries where you maybe can't touch certain people who work for your competitor, but maybe after time goes by, you can. This would be a great way to do that. If I had a choice, and my husband's ran into this with what he does, pay a headhunter or use LinkedIn, he has actually had more luck using the skills that we've learned today to hire versus using a headhunter. I don't know. I mean, I think we could definitely use this as a recruiting tool in your cases. Stephanie wanted to use it to, find more information out about the industry. You could definitely do that by connecting with the right people, looking at their posts, sharing their posts, getting ideas off their posts, things like that. So we only have 6 minutes, and I always feel like these, we decided to go the hour route. We, in the past, this LinkedIn has been 2 hours long, and we condensed it down to an hour since we're doing online. So I feel like I've just said, the whole time. So we have 6 minutes. Is there any questions that I can answer that we didn't hit on?
Rebecca, I have a question. On your profile, when I look at my profile, it has where I currently work, and then underneath of it, it has Shawnee State University. I've tried to change that and have Color Street underneath Adams Brown Community Action. Is there a way to do that, or does education automatically come under that?
I think education automatically comes up.
Okay. I've never been able to figure out how to change that, so I wasn't sure if it could even be changed.
No, I don't think it can be.
Okay.
It looks like everybody's, I just searched some random person, hers is the same way.
Yeah, I looked at a couple other ones too.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
Okay, I just wanted to check because I wasn't sure.
Make sure your contact information. Oh, let me see. Let me see if there's a. Make sure that you go through your. Let me go back out and then go back in. Show you how I got to it. Make sure that you look through here. So like there are, like you can post jobs, finally, like they have things set up. You can create a company page. I know Jason said he's struggling to be able to get on that company page. But there are, some of these cost you money, but there are some LinkedIn products and things that, could be beneficial for you. Under here, make sure you go into settings and privacies, check those things. You can see your activity. So like that's something that I posted. So like you can see I commented on hers. I congratulated her for celebrating 16 years. So you can go back and see what you've done on LinkedIn, which I think is kind of neat. And then that was under here, manage posts and activities. I know I mentioned the messaging thing. Here's the messages. So like this individual, Ben Hayworth, he does 2D floor plans. He asked to connect. And then of course he sent the message, wanting to sell me on 2D floor plans. We already do that in-house. He wants me to use his company to do that. So I just politely say, we already do that. Thanks anyway, move on. So, these are all messages. It does alert you when it's someone's birthday. So you can send them a happy birthday, happy anniversaries. So those are great ways to just to get noticed on LinkedIn. Any other?
What I will say is I've been able to update, which is why my camera's not on, so I could update on my other screen while we've gone along, because I didn't know how to do any of those things. So I've learned a lot along this and realized I did not have my LinkedIn profile very well.
And I know I've said this on the Instagram days and the Facebook days, but like features change too. Like they'll add sections. It's always good to go on Facebook and just kind of look around and see what they've added and changed. Instagram, same thing. LinkedIn, like a lot of times we don't think to go on LinkedIn and check it. Honestly, I went on here, a couple weeks ago and checked mine. And it was mainly just to make sure that it was up to date for this class. Because you just don't think about it. It's like one of those things you should write on your calendar every 6 months to go on and make sure that everything's up to date and ready to go. Like I've said before, like sometimes I've used it more than others. When I was recruiting and building my business, when I first started my business 4 years ago, I was on LinkedIn a lot more than I was on Facebook. Like I was connecting with people, trying to, when I first started my business, trying to get business. It can be very helpful. Very, very helpful. It does tell you who's viewed. I don't know if you've ever looked at this. And that's the other thing you can, if you pay for a package, like it'll tell you who is looking at your information. But it does, like you can actually like see Michelle Cottine, looks like she looked at my profile 5 days ago. She's a past student of mine. I used to teach with him. I interviewed him probably 7 years ago when I was doing recruiting and hiring. You can block it to where you can't see everyone. So unless you pay for package, it's like anything else. LinkedIn wants to make money too. So if you're someone who's like, I gotta know who is looking at me, you're gonna have to pay. So, all right.
Okay. No
Right.
other questions?
So I'm on LinkedIn. I was cracking up because I about put my contact information on the screen. I was like, no, not with LinkedIn. Connect with me through LinkedIn if you want to contact me.
Great
Good
idea.
We
Good
gotta,
idea.
we gotta use this. Yeah. So I do. I feel like these classes are a great networking tool. So definitely look each other up, and let's all connect through LinkedIn.
Next week, if anybody's interested, we have Pinterest. That'll be the first time we've done anything with Pinterest. So I'm really looking forward to that because I'd like to start using Pinterest more for business use. And that's something I don't know a whole lot about. So
Yeah.
next Tuesday morning from 9 to 10, I'll be sending out the link. And sorry, I know some links were funny. I forgot to put the registration required on the first link I sent. So people couldn't register. So when I realized that, I had to go back in and change that. So sorry about that. So I'll be sending out a new Pinterest link also. All right. If no one else has questions for Rebecca, we are done. Or do you have anything else, Rebecca?
No, I just sent a few. Tim, did you say you are on here already?
Yes, yeah, I do have a LinkedIn account. I've got a picture and I think maybe I must have risk management, some other stuff because I keep getting, I get hits from recruiters.